Hi, this is Kim Handy, and welcome to Investments. This upcoming spring semester, I'm going to be your instructor. This will serve as your orientation video, so hopefully it's clear and we all get off to a great start. When you log into Canvas and click on this class, it will take you to this page. This is just a general information page, and this will only be here up until class starts, and then this landing page will change to our regular weekly page that I will explain later. But anyway, on here is my name, my office hours. As you can see, my office hours on Tuesday and Thursday, but I'm typically on campus all day on those days, so I can meet you outside of class. I know many online students do not want to come to campus, so if you want to give me a call on one of those days, that would be great. My office location is on the second floor of the business building, and here is my cell phone number with a comment that says just text me, and I mean that. If you have a quick question, text me. That is the best way to get a quick response. Email and voicemail take me a little bit longer, but I really do appreciate those texts. Next, we have a communication policy. There is a Q&A section in the discussions where you can post a question that you have related to the class. And I'm encouraging you to post a question because other students may have the same question. So you post the question, and then any student in the class or myself is encouraged to respond to this question within 24 hours. So you're not hanging out there. And if no one responds, again, just text me. Next, your homework. Now, your homework is due on Thursdays and Sundays, and my goal is to always have your homework graded and responded to with, you can check the answers before the next week. So finally, after this, I want you to go ahead and visit this Welcome to Investing announcement. This is key. Again, I think this class is invaluable. I'm very pleased that you are here. We're going to be together for the next 16 weeks. You're going to be hearing my voice on videos and perhaps even talking to me in person. Canvas is the hub, so everything we do is on this site. I want you to come here regularly, but particularly on Mondays, because that is when all new information is made available to you. So our week begins on Monday and it ends on Sunday evening. Sunday evening at 11:59. There are no times, even the due dates for homework are that day by 11:59 p.m. So assignments are due on Thursday and again on Sunday. The Thursday assignment typically isn't as difficult because I have a lot of working students and I don't want to bring you down with too much homework. Sunday's homework will be a bit more time consuming. Okay, the book. So the book is old now, which is good because that means the book is less expensive. And to the extent you can save money on the book, great, because we can take that money, I'm sure, and put it to better use, particularly in investing. So I put a copy of the covers of the 12th edition and the 13th edition, and I don't care which one you get, they will both work. The changes among different editions are insignificant. So there's a post to the syllabus, which I'll go over in a bit, and then the video, which I'm preparing right now. But before I go through the syllabus, I just want to go through the different tabs over here on Canvas that I use. I'm into keeping it simple. Complicated just messes with my mind, so I just don't want to do that. When I post an announcement, you'll be pinged to go check out the announcement, so please do that. This implies that you are checking your campus Gmail, which you need to do because I will send you information on that Gmail. And I've had students who come into me all semester and have never once checked their campus Gmail. So please don't let that be you. Make sure you have a way to receive announcements and messages that I am sending to you. Okay, the next tab over here is Pages, and this is really the hub of our class. This is the first page, but I want you to pay particular attention to this tab up here that says View All Pages. When you click on this View All Pages, It will now load up every page, pages we're not using and pages we'll be using in the future. So right now, the green arrows over here, or the green check marks, indicate pages that are active. So there's a Canvas tutorial for those of you who don't know how to use Canvas. There's the instructor information page, which we've already reviewed. And then there's week 1. So I'm going to pop into week 1 right now just to show you what a week looks like. These are all structured the same way. We begin on the 15th, that's Monday. We end on a Sunday. We have an overview, which includes our learning objective. This is what we're going to do the first week: terms, general overview, and some steps. We're going to start the beginning of our investment plan. So Thursday's homework is a lot of terms, and what I mean by terms is you should be coming into this class with some knowledge already of investment terms, time value money terms, different types of economic terms, interest rates, different types of retirement accounts, etc. That should have come from previous classes. If you don't have those specific previous classes, or you don't remember, it's going to be a little termy for you in the beginning, but I need you to hang in there. We're all doing a bit of review and learning some concepts in the first 3 weeks of class. So it's a lot of reading and it's a lot of comprehension of concepts. So just hang in there until we get to really start working on different types of investment instruments. Sunday's homework, again, you have a couple discussion questions. Particularly, you're doing a little planning for your first mock client, and then also you're looking at safe places for money. And I've given you some more instruction there. Anyway, that's kind of what the overview will talk about, and then we'll get into specifics of everything you need to complete your homework, for example. And then finally, these will be all the links. So those 3 sections are always covered: the overview, the tools, and the links. Every week it looks the same. Okay, and we have discussions here. And so far, the only discussion I have out there for you are the Q&A about the course, but we have several discussions that will open up as we move throughout this semester. Quizzes is our next tab, so you will have 5 quizzes. The last quiz was not timed. It was an untimed quiz, but anyway, you will come here to take your quizzes. They generally last 60 minutes and cover what we've been learning in class. Next is grades. This is where I will regularly post your grades. And I'll get to the grading policy in a bit. And then finally, we have people. And this is actually early, so we don't show any people in the class yet. I don't know when that will load. But anyway, you'll see everybody who is in the class, just in case you want to contact them or maybe work with them on a project. And finally, the SEC library. This is just your link to get to everything related to the library. Okay, so that is how Canvas will work. Now I'm going to go back to the announcement section and just remind you that in this welcome link, you have a link to the syllabus, which I already have open right here. So this is the syllabus. This is the same information that is included on my communication page. Again, this course is offered online, Investments in Financial Management. It is an advanced course following some prerequisites that are required. It goes into more in-depth knowledge of investing in bonds or fixed income instruments, stocks, mutual funds, exchange traded funds. We touch on options and futures. If we have time, we'll touch a little bit on real estate. We learn about behavioral finance in this class. We also talk about traditional and modern portfolio theory. All cool stuff, all great things to learn and apply to how you make investments in your own life. It is a particularly good class for people who might be interested in going into self-investment and where you really apply learned principles, or maybe you even want to go into an area of investing in finance for your career. So you should be able to understand, again, financial goals and developing financial, I call them action plans to achieve those goals. You will understand our changing economic and financial environment, particularly as it relates to interest rates. And we do look at all different kinds of indicators that point to how our economy is going to fare in the future. We do some individual investment planning. We look at a bunch of different economic tools. We actually go out and we use some research done by some other companies, including Morningstar and maybe even the Motley Fool on some of their proprietary sites. So, and then we talk about the yield curve, which is particularly interesting right now and relevant as we are in a rising rate environment. Here's the prerequisites. Business 320, Concepts in Personal Finance. This class is also offered online and would be a great class to take before you took this class. Other prerequisites include Econ 302, Macro, or Principles of Micro, and then Math 120 with a grade of C or better. So if you have not met these prerequisites or you think there's something questionable, please contact me immediately. Rather find this out sooner than later. So again, the book, I explained to you about the book and I even put pictures of the covers. So get that book as soon as possible and as cheap as possible. I do assign supplemental readings and we do some interesting questions. We might look at how new changes to NAFTA are going to affect our investment portfolios and our investment strategies. We'll certainly look at tax reform. We'll talk about that a bit. We may talk about some protectionist policies that are on the table, a lot of just current information that's going on. So what do you need to do? Communicate with me. If I don't hear or see you active in this class for a week, it's campus policy to remove you from the course. So just stay on top of things. This isn't a class where you can get behind, so don't do that, please. Read. You're going to have to read the text. And it's not easy reading. It's good reading, but it's going to take you a bit of time, so be prepared for that. Submit your assignments on time because the Dropbox closes and that's the end of the assignments. And then take your quizzes on scheduled dates. So here's how a quiz works. So I may put your first quiz out there, let's say on a Tuesday, and then you typically have until Sunday to find time to prepare all the information you need, anything you need you can use, and then to sit down and take the time quiz. And again, they're timed for about 60 minutes, give or take. Visit Canvas regularly. So you must have access to a computer. Obviously you do, or you wouldn't be in an online class. And then participate and have fun. Here's the grading scheme. Homework, 25%. Thursday and Sunday homework together. Quizzes, half your grade. I dropped the lowest quiz, so you can't afford to go on vacation one time. Case evaluations. You will be assigned cases about every other week, in which case some of them are in the book, some of them are not, but you will have to develop a plan for a client. And lastly, your individual project, which is your own comprehensive investment plan where you're going to be picking stocks, bonds, ETFs, mutual funds, and doing some advanced calculations to determine how well your portfolios are doing. I already went over homework. The first part is due on Thursday. The second part is due on Sunday. Quizzes, articles, and again, topics. So I'm going to assign you topics that I think are interesting and applicable to what we're learning and thoughtful. Really produce a lot of thoughtful discussion. Let's see. Most of what I learned from online classes is nobody, or generally most students don't like working in groups, so we'll try to keep to the individual projects. You do have an individual project, which is a comprehensive investment plan. It is due in the last week of class, and I'll go over more of that later as we start to work on it. So beyond that, we have an academic honesty policy, which means just do the right thing. Okay? If you have a buddy in the class and you're both taking it together, do your own homework and do your own quizzes because that is just the right thing to do. We have again, on-campus services in 151 and 152 should you ever come to campus to work. The add drop policy, our dean is Deb Sachs. If you have an issue that I can't resolve or just some other issue related to school, I would go see her. She's really helpful and she'll be able to solve your problem. Now, that being said, you're not required to come to class to take any exams. And I know a couple of you are out of town taking this class, but there has to be some way where we can meet one time. And I'm going to tell you, I have a lot of students who come to meet with me because I'm a certified financial planner and we talk more about financial planning as it relates to your life. And it actually is a really good session. So that comes towards the end of class. And if you can't meet with me in person, then maybe we can meet over Skype. But I do have to see you somehow one time during this semester. Okay, I just want to top it off by going over the course schedule. So week 1 is terms, tedious. The next is really understanding our securities markets. Again, where do we trade? What kind of trading rules do we have? It's interesting. And then how we perform securities transactions. We'll touch a little bit on margin accounts, but not too much. And then risk and return, huge risk and return. Okay? How much return do we want for taking on a certain level of risk, and how risky are we? Those things we'll start to understand. Modern portfolio theory versus traditional. And now we get into common stock. Analyzing common stock, 3 weeks of stock. Behavioral finance, I love this. This is all about why we do or don't do the things we do. So we'll have some interesting discussions about that. Fixed income securities, spring break, no homework, fixed income being bonds. This is where we'll get into bonds and the yield curve and how that affects what we do moving forward. And then we have mutual funds and exchange traded funds, which is 1 week, probably should be 2, but we'll see if we can squeeze some more time out of that. And then you work on your portfolio. And finally, we wrap up with an understanding, just a general understanding of options and futures. This book is generally an upper division book, so you should be really set if you ever take an upper division investment course because you can have a book that's very similar. And in the book, because it is a higher level book, it's an upper division book, we will not do a lot of the calculator related problems. We will rely on secondary information to just go and retrieve the calculations we need. So there you have it. We'll finish in early May, just in time to kick off the summer. So I hope this was helpful. Again, when I move into week 1, we're going to also put little bios out about ourselves because I want to know a little bit more about you, and I'm sure the class does too. It's a big class right now. We're well over 40 people, so let's see what happens. Thank you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.